Hi everybody, welcome to Christian Homestead. My name is Jared. If you haven't already, please make sure to subscribe. These are the skies above Jerusalem, and I do believe that these are signs in the heavens, which I think are always important, but especially when things like this take place over significant places like Jerusalem, which we know plays an important part in prophecy in the lead up to the second coming. I think that we should pay extra attention to situations like this. This, of course, is part of the back and forth between Israel and Iran going on right now, where Iran is firing ballistic missiles at Israel. This is the third time that it's happened. The first time was back in April of last year, and then again in October. Those two times came and went without much incident. This time may be a little bit different. It seems like there has been more significant damage done. But I want to talk about this concept of signs and wonders and how ancient prophets, when they saw scenes like this, if this is what they saw, may confuse this with stars falling from the heaven, angry stars. And so we're going to read some of those scriptures. And I'm not saying that this is fulfillment of that, but I feel like it's a pretty good candidate. They definitely do look like angry stars casting themselves to the ground. Here's an image taken from Jerusalem of what's called an exoatmospheric interception of one of these Iranian ballistic missiles. It's where a missile is intercepted outside of Earth's atmosphere. And actually, the first time that we've ever seen that in history was back in 2023 when Yemen launched a ballistic missile at Israel and it was intercepted. It marked the first time that there's been combat in space. So it's a relatively new thing, and it's being witnessed from Jerusalem itself. And it's interesting because as Jerusalem is seeing all this right now, just about a week or two ago, we had this occurring here in Independence, Missouri, or the site of the future New Jerusalem. On the first day of Community of Christ World Conference, the skies were darkened with Canadian wildfire smoke. The sun was turned red, as you can see from this video that I took from the temple lot. Here's a picture I took of downtown Kansas City from Independence. And then a few days later, we had a tornado that hit Independence, Missouri. This is a video that I took on my new channel called Explore Church Sites. I'm adding more and more content, so make sure to subscribe and check out those videos, especially if you're outside the United States or you're not going to be able to make it to see the sites here in Missouri, Nauvoo. I have some videos coming out from Winter Quarters. We just went there yesterday. But anyway, we had this tornado. There were actually two tornadoes, but one of them hit Independence. And of all places, it hit this company called Temple Engineering Incorporated. So I'm taking note of that. And then we had the Aurora show up. It was on the same day that Community of Christ new prophet president, Stacy D. Cram, was ordained the first female prophet president of Community of Christ. So the skies have been interesting over Independence, Missouri. But back to Jerusalem, here's more footage of what definitely looks like stars falling from the sky if you didn't know any better, or if you were an ancient prophet and you didn't know what you were looking at. Here is Tel Aviv in the aftermath of what happened, and I don't know if we're going to have more of this or not, but it doesn't seem like this event is over. Here's a post on X from Lieutenant Colonel Nadav Shoshani. We established aerial superiority from western Iran to Tehran. Yeah, it seems like Israel's been doing a little bit better in this skirmish or war. I'm not sure which one it is at this point. Here's a headline from Haaretz. IDF declares Iran as primary war front, downgrades Gaza to secondary arena. So that would be the first time during this war ever since October 7th. So we'll see how long that lasts. I don't know if this is just going to peter out within a week or two, and then they're going to shift their focus back to Gaza and Hezbollah, but we'll just have to see. This may be a more significant development than what we realize. Okay, so those are the skies over Jerusalem right now, and I'm sure that there's more to come. This is what the skies of Jerusalem looked like back in April of last year. This is an incredible video taken from the Temple Mount, and those are Iranian missiles over Jerusalem. If that's not apocalyptic looking, I don't know what is. Here it is from another angle, not on the Temple Mount itself, but from somewhere else. And then this is really dramatic. This is footage from the October attack. And that really, really looks like angry stars casting themselves to the ground. That is pretty intense and incredible. Here's another one. So, one last one that I want to share comes from 2021. This was just like 2 weeks after I started my channel. There was a wildfire outside of Jerusalem, and it produced scenes like this, again, above the Temple Mount. I went and found some of the original posts on X. And again, if that doesn't look apocalyptic, I don't know what does. When you see things like this over Jerusalem, we should probably pay attention. I do believe that these are signs of the times. So I want to read what I have on my spreadsheet called Quotes A through Z. What's currently row 543 for stars, angry, falling, casting themselves down. So the first one that I have, and I do believe that I found all of them. I used BYU's Scripture Citation Index where you can search the scriptures. I think I have them all. The first one that I have is from Revelation 6, verses 12 through 14. Let me zoom in just a little bit more. And I beheld when he had opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood. And the stars of heaven fell unto the earth, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs, when she is shaken of a mighty wind. And the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places. Doctrine and Covenants 45, verses 39 to 42. And it shall come to pass that he that feareth me shall be looking forth for the great day of the Lord to come, even for the signs of the coming of the Son of Man. Kind of makes you wonder about people that want to dismiss these signs and act as though everything is just normal. Verse 40, and they shall see signs and wonders, for they shall be shown forth in the heavens above and in the earth beneath. And they shall behold blood and fire and vapors of smoke. And before the day of the Lord shall come, the sun shall be darkened, and the moon be turned into blood, and the stars fall from heaven. Now, really quick, I want to focus on this phrase right here, signs and wonders, because the people that are not looking for signs, they're not looking for the second coming, they act as though it's not anytime soon. They dismiss things like what we're seeing right now. They'll usually say that, it's not a sign because we know what it is, or it's not incredible enough, it's not spectacular enough, it's not supernatural. Okay, so in the scriptures, the phrase signs and wonders shows up 28 times. And I think people usually just focus in on signs, but 28 times, signs and wonders are coupled together. And so let's take a quick look and see what wonder means. So in Merriam-Webster, wonder as a noun, number 1, a cause of astonishment or admiration. So when you see these images coming out of Israel, are you astonished? I am. I find this pretty astonishing. Okay, and then number 3, rapt attention or astonishment at something awesomely mysterious or new to one's experience. I also like to use the Webster's 1828 dictionary because this reflects English as it was at the time that Doctrine and Covenants was written. So they have something new, unusual, strange, great, extraordinary, or not well understood, something that arrests the attention by its novelty, grandeur, or inexplicableness. So all these things that we're talking about, whether it's wildfire smoke, whether it's the first exo-atmospheric interception, that's definitely something new, and it's something that is unusual and arrests the attention. I do believe that you can classify all these things as wonders. So I think that we should pay attention. But let's get back to this about stars being angry, falling, casting themselves down. Doctrine and Covenants 88, verse 87. For not many days hence, and the earth shall tremble and reel to and fro as a drunken man, and the sun shall hide his face, and shall refuse to give light, and the moon shall be bathed in blood, and the stars shall become exceedingly angry, and shall cast themselves down as a fig that falleth from off a fig tree. So these images, these videos that we're looking at, they definitely look like exceedingly angry stars, in my opinion. I don't know what you think, but that's what they look like to me. I'm not going to read all of these, but you get the idea. One thing I want to point out, we have Elder Bruce R. McConkie from Millennial Messiah, and he said that the fulfillment of this prophecy may be as a result of the great earthquake that's going to come at the time of the second coming, that, you know, the earth is going to wobble, continents are going to come together. He even suggests that it's possible that the earth will lose its tilt and will become upright. And so as a result of all these events, it may look to us like the stars are falling. So I'm not going to read this whole thing, but you can pause and read this, or you can just come to my spreadsheet. The link is in the description box of each video. But I think I'm going to go ahead and put this idea on this spreadsheet called Quotes Prophecy Fulfillment Tracker, where in column D, we have scriptures that contain prophecies about the second coming, or things that are supposed to take place before the second coming. And then I have columns right here for any general authority that has said that a prophecy has been fulfilled or that there's been a partial fulfillment. But one of the recent developments on this spreadsheet is I've added, you see these cells in column E that are yellow, like this one right here, possible fulfillments or partial fulfillments. I've added my own speculations as to possibilities for some of these scriptures to have been fulfilled, and they're not authoritative. I'm just jotting down ideas. So if you have any ideas of how a prophecy may have been fulfilled, send it my way, and then I may add it to this spreadsheet. But what we're talking about here with these ballistic missiles, I think I'm going to add it to this spreadsheet as my own speculation. So anyway, as we're seeing things like this in the skies above Jerusalem, we should probably pay attention, especially when it's part of a series of events that seem to be getting more and more dramatic and serious and dangerous. But that's going to be it for this one, so if you haven't already, please make sure to subscribe, like this video if you liked it, leave your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. Also make sure to share it, and I'll talk to you guys later.